Hello everybody, today I'd like to share a project with you, and this is a project that I am taking part in. It's a collaboration called Circle of Friends that is being hosted by Susanna from Vintage Blend Studio on YouTube. There are 7 of us taking part in this collaboration, and what we have to do is make a patchwork slow stitch block for each lady each month. The block has to be in their colours and in our style. So these colours here, and this is for Marjorie, and Marjorie is Marjorie Snyder on YouTube. And she chose the colours pinks, turquoise and neutrals. And so this is the block I've put together for Marjorie. I've just used 2 colour fabrics in this particular one. And to break up, so it's not quite so plain, I have done a running stitch all across it there, but it doesn't sort of overpower the actual fabric. It just sort of adds a little bit of texture to it. And I've done that in a variegated cotton yarn that I found thrifting, and it's so pretty. I really like that one. And then I've put this lovely vintage doily on. Now the doily was actually too big for the block, so I had to cut the center out of it because it was stained. So I did that, and then I cut a piece of the doily, like a wedge out of it, so I could close it up and make it smaller to fit onto my block. The blocks are to measure 8 inches by 8 inches. Once I cut the center out, I did some blanket stitch in this lovely dark turquoisey teal color. And then if I bring it up close, I've done lots of little seed stitching and then the pink French knots. I've also done some French knots scattered on the inside with the word "See the Beauty." Part of the collaboration, we are meant to put some words or a word in the center of our block. So I've done some daisy stitching in the inside there with lovely little beads in the center. My applique pieces, they came from a bread warmer, a vintage bread warmer. That's the only way I can describe it. It's like a circle, and you lift up, and it's got like little pockets all the way around it. And on each little section, there were these lovely applique flowers in the pink. So I've cut those out, and I have done a small blanket stitch around the edge of those appliques. I've found this beautiful doily. Do I have it? Oh, I have some here. When I was thrifting it, it had these beautiful little pink flowers on, so I've trimmed those off and then re-stitched the pearl into the center that was on them. I have done some messy French knots on each of the flowers on the doily here, and I've put a little golden seed bead in with that messy French knot as well. All the doily is couched on. I've done some scruffy little flowers here, just sort of pinched in the center, and some messy French knots once again. Some of them have beads in with them, some don't. I've also put a little scattering of buttons around, some vintage buttons. We have pink vintage and we have mother of pearl buttons as well. And I've used these lovely little silk flowers, and I love using those in my projects. It's just, I always tend to, add them, and I really, really like them. And I think that's all that I've done on there, and I'm happy with how it turned out. I think it's very pretty. It is my style. It's quite cottagey. I really, really like it, so I hope Marjorie likes it as well. And as I was saying, there will be 7 of us, so this collaboration will go for 6 months. Each month I will be making a block for a different lady, but I will also be receiving a block from a different lady as well. Each lady, I will list them in the description box below if you'd like to go over and have a look at their channels. And they each have a different color choice that they'll be. I don't think there's any the same. this month, this time around. Susanna hosted a lovely collaboration last year where we were doing slow stitching again, and it was a lot of fun. So when she asked if I'd like to join this one, I thought definitely, because it is a lot of fun, and you get to have pieces of work from people probably you would not normally be able to have a piece of their work. So it's really nice to be able to do that. And I think this one is put together in the idea that you make either a wall covering or a quilt out of it because of the size of the blocks. I've also put together a few little goodies for Marjorie. I've made a packaging out of a, what is it? A Woolworths shopping bag. It has printing on the outside, but it's plain on the inside, and it's a nice quality brown paper. And then I've stitched on this fabric here. I'm not quite sure. That's from Crafty Meat's shop, that fabric. It's a nice thing. It's like a really thick calico. I've stitched her name, and then I have gone around it with a little border of the turquoise and pink, and then I've just attached it to the paper with a little stitch, and so it's easy enough to sort of cut that stitch and keep that and use it on a project or something like that. So, and of course the thread that I've used to stitch it together, she can just undo the bow and slide all the stitching out and reuse the thread on something else as well. And I've just enclosed a few little extras from what I've made her block from, so that whatever we end up making with it, she has some similar items to go with it. So I hope you have enjoyed seeing what I've made. This is my January block. It is now December the 14th. I need to get this in the mail this week in the hopes that it will arrive in Canada in January. So take care, everybody. And like I said, I will put links to all the ladies taking part in this in the description box below. Take care. Bye.